Hi friends, how are you? Today another excellent topic. Let's talk again about motivation. Motivation, it goes really very well with drive, as we said in the latest video about the drive for design. Life it's like a cycle, as you know, goes ups and down. So this means that sometimes we are in a situation where we have to motivate ourselves to do some things, but also very banal stuff, like for example I have to do some exercise for my body, and then when I feel like I should do the exercise and I could do the exercise, it's too late, I have to go to sleep. Therefore I say, well, I'll do it tomorrow. And the fact of saying I'll do it tomorrow basically is just pushing something that you could do before, which is very useful to your body, and you do it 1 day, 2 days, 3 days maybe, and then it's 1 week, 1 month. So the motivation is very, very important, and in design, motivations and self-motivation is basically everything. Because also in design we can have some periods of our professional life or of our life during which we are not very creative, or we know what we should do and we just don't do it right, or we don't do it fully correct. And this is because it's basically a process, a mental process, and that is affecting our daily life, and automatically it's affecting also our professional life. So if we are designers, we go to work every day like everybody, and then we have several things to do. I don't know, sketches for a design contest, check a model about how the side surface is coming out with the modelers, check our virtual model on an alias computer with our alias design modeler colleague that is working for us. If we have all those tasks to do and we just don't do them correctly, the system will start to suffer because of this missing part, this missed engagement, daily engagement. And it's not enough to say, I'm sorry, today is really a wrong day for me. Because what happens is that our brain likes a lot to be spoiled by us, by ourselves. Therefore, if I always constantly say, I'll do this tomorrow because now I really don't feel like, you can do it, but you can do it once, twice. But already when you do this 3 times in a row, there is something wrong. So basically what I'm trying to say is that we always have to try to keep a control, especially when we are under pressure on several type of projects, to keep our motivations very high level. Even when we have a very strong headache, when we had real big problems at home, things that are normal. So the self-motivation is very important. And self-motivation sometimes it comes also from sort of auto-training, How do I do to change the way I am from a lazy person to someone that is active, to make sure that whatever I do, I'm doing correctly. At least I accomplish my daily tasks with responsibility. So motivation is fundamental. And in design, sometimes motivations can come out in an easier way than other professions. And you know why? Because, for example, when we sketch and we make a very nice sketch, we don't feel like we want to stop. We want to continue because we are having strong pleasure. We have a nice sketch we are making, and we are sure we can make even better, or we want to see the end of that sketch. And when the car sketch is finished, then we say, what can I do more to make the sketch even better? And then you think about the background, then you think about the scenario, and then you say, you know what, I could make the same cars much smaller, farther away, and then you start making your composition. So that's a self-motivation that comes out by the good work. So if I can give an advice or a tip, is that when we start to do something, don't do it in a lazy way, because the work will come out bad, with a bad quality. And that's frustrating, because when you do that, you don't read what you expected to read, and then you get frustrated. And then the easiest thing to do is to say, well, I quit, I'll do this tomorrow. No, you have to start correctly with all the right, following the right steps in order to make sure that you are doing something in a correct way, following the right steps, and then you will see that the quality, the initial quality of that sketch, it will be much, much better. And as long as you keep on sketching and improving it, you will feel like you really want to do it even more. Therefore, if you do a very beautiful side view and the proportions are correct, the line quality is nice, nicely done, your reflections are nice and juicy, like we used to say, you know, and your shading are it's really showing well the form, the volume, you like it. But you make that sketch because now is the moment that you have to check how it's gonna be the front, how it's gonna be the back, how it's gonna be the top view. You wanna make sure that all those things are all together so that you can see all the 3-4 main sketches and you understand how really it's the design of your car. And if you are able to auto-motivate you into this type of spiral, path, which is very positive, you see that the energy will go up, and then you will feel much more confident, much stronger. And the next step is you will start to criticize your work. So that's the moment where you put maybe your work on the wall or on your table. You go get a coffee, just refresh your mind for a couple of minutes or 10 minutes, okay? Then you come back, and there you will find all the details that you don't like, or some graphics you don't like. Maybe the lights are not nice. Maybe your bumper line is too high, so the proportion is too massive. And you want to have a feeling, you have an idea of the feeling that car design has to show, to express. Therefore, it's the time you can trace again and make the corrections so that you start narrowing down the design on the main idea, concept idea, of what you are supposed to do. So when you do that, it's almost impossible that you say, well, I'll finish tomorrow. Because design has a lot to do with the internal, inner emotions. And if you are able to keep that flame, okay, of that emotion alive, which means with your auto-motivation, if you are able to do that, then it's gonna be just a sequence of steps and things to do to make sure that you will arrive at the end of this exercise that might last a couple of hours with a full project in a way that you will be kind of satisfied. Now, the full satisfaction, believe me, does not exist because you will always find something to improve. So you will have to make the synthesis. You have to decide, because at the end it's your responsibility to decide what you really want and what do you want to present. But the most important thing is that you got the self-motivation to keep you going, like the gasoline in your heart engine, in your heart motor, okay? So that that flame it's alive, and you know exactly what you have to do. And you know that you want to finish that task. You want to finish that accomplishment. You want to accomplish the end of that sketching step or stage. So when we are able to do that, it's kind of easy. It's a little bit like when I try to play my guitars, okay? I start with something which is just a phrase of few notes. I have a good rhythm base, but I really don't know what I want to do after. But just playing, then the notes will come out. And then I start feeling motivated to explore more. Because the jamming is nice, because I'm getting faster with my fingers, therefore the timing is correct. And then I start playing some chords that go with those notes phrase, okay? And then a riff comes out, and then I say, wow, this is a 2 minutes video. I could do a 2 minutes video on this. Then I try and I make a test. Therefore, I do something different. I try to optimize the tone of the guitar to make sure that this time the sound it's more like I don't know, Hendrix or Santana or B.B. King or one of those great masters that had a particular sound on their guitars. How I can improve also in my small world the tone so that if I'm doing something that sounds like Hendrix or Rolling Stones, that the guitars plays similar, sounds similar. So this is the extra things that I'm willing to do, spending time to make sure that when I'll try again that riff and I make my 2 minutes video, it will look nice, even if I know that it's not professional. But to me, in my small world, I see that I made improvements from the beginning of searching the notes to the end. Let's come back to us. This is a clear example of something very passionate, at least for me, in which the auto-motivation comes out motivated by the fact that I start doing an action, a creative action, using the right steps, not being lazy and sloppy, but trying to be very concentrating in doing things correctly. Even if at the beginning it's very simple, there is almost nothing, there is just a beginning, and then the rest comes out. It comes from the heart. Remember, it goes to your brain, comes out from your arm, and that's how it has to be. So this means that also when you sketch with your pencil, the first thing you want to accomplish it's your line quality. Recently I put a line quality video that I made a few months ago, or maybe 1 year ago, okay? And that's very important. The line quality is the first thing that gives us pleasure when we sketch. And if we have a bad line quality, if we are too harsh on the paper, if we damage the paper with our pencils, then it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And we feel already frustrated before we start. So when I talk about the right steps, you know you have to have a clean page, you have to have a stack of a block of paper underneath to make sure that you have a softness when you sketch. This will help the beginning of your line quality. Then you have to have always pencils, you know, that are sharp, very sharp, okay, so that you can have can be light, gentle with your pressure, and have nice lines, you know. And after you can pass to the step of making your lines three-dimensional, and once they are three-dimensional, you know more or less the shapes, and then you go on and on and on. And this is all things, those are things that help you to auto-motivate yourself. So, motivation. The last thing about motivation, I would like to say that sometimes frustration can be really strong, really strong. And therefore, it's all I said now, it looks like it doesn't make sense. Because it's a lot easier to say, you don't understand. I have a really severe problem. I really have a big problem. It's not just auto-motivating with the line quality that I'm going to solve it. I know. That's, of course, in your head. But I always try to say, so be positive. That's the first thing. I mean, try, make your best. The second thing is that, at least in my case, when I am under stress because there are problems, is there that I try to give out the best of myself. Because it's that madness that charges me of positive energy and not negative energy. So when I get that positive energy, I put the positive energy in my work for which I have strong passion, like car design, like the music, like the painting, you know, like trying to be a good father, to be a good friend with people, you know. So the positive, even if I am mad because something happened to me, or because I did something wrong, therefore I'm so mad at myself. So this is the advice I can give you. how you have to do to turn that negative energy into positive energy to push you and motivate you in your things. How to explain that, I don't know. I just know that I can do it. Not always, but in majority of the cases I can do it. And that's what you should try to do too, okay? I hope I was useful to you this time as well. Bye bye, share this video. As you saw, I'm back on Facebook. It's time to share our videos on Facebook, okay? Bye bye.